Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Once again, we got to talk about a story that does not fit the narrative. So therefore, the mainstream liberal media is going to ignore it because they're going out of their way, right? They're trying really hard to not have a conversation that is desperately needed in this country about the radicalization of individuals in this country when it comes to this issue of transgender rights, okay? And I'm using rights in quotes because none of the things that these people claim to be fighting for are right? They are privileges, okay? And the Democrat Party and the mainstream liberal media has basically radicalized people into believing that the GOP passing common sense legislation is somehow an attack on their existence, right? That the GOP politicians don't want transgender people to exist or that they're trying to erase their existence, okay? Now, again, I raised questions about this rhetoric and how that may have played into what happened last week with the Nashville mass shooting that happened at a Christian school, okay? Christian kids were killed, okay? And adults were murdered in cold blood by a transgender shooter. Now, instead of having this much needed conversation, the mainstream liberal media told you that, hey, if you want to talk about this transgender shooter and their identity, you're a bigot, you're a transphobe, okay? And you are actually putting the trans community in danger, right? The trans community became the victims instead of the Christian community, right? The Christian community was the cause. It's the reason why it happened. And the trans shooter was actually the victim, right? Again, absolutely amazing stuff. I mean, you even had the AP running this headline right here, okay, which, again, is designed to protect the narrative. Fact focus, no incredible rise in transgender shooters, right? This is the headline here. No incredible rise in transgender shooters. Now, do you think they would run this headline if a white male, a straight white male specifically had committed that mass shooting, right? Do you think they run a headline and say, hey, there's no incredible rise in straight white male shooters? No, they would be running the exact opposite. They'd be telling you how dangerous white males are and how, hey, we got to do something about this threat, right? This threat of white supremacy. So with that being said, today's story, you know, the AP is going to be really not happy to see as we have a transgender suspect with a communist manifesto arrested for planning shootings at schools and churches, according to police. Now, again, you know the mainstream liberal media doesn't really want to talk about this because the local media, who's also, you know, liberal as well too, for the most part, they're not even mentioning that this person is transgender, right? They're not even mentioning it, okay? They want to sweep it up under the rug, right? Let's not talk about that, okay? But again, we got to talk about it because this is news and this is something that we should be talking about because predictably, I think that this type of stuff is probably what happens when the left coddles a certain group of people and then tells them that their lives are in danger because of legislation that they don't like, okay? As William Whitworth, who is this person right now, okay, they identify as Lily Whitworth, was formally charged with a criminal attempt to commit murder in the first degree, criminal mischief, menacing, and interference with staff, faculty, and students of educational institutions. Again, all this is a part of what allegedly was a plot to commit a mass shooting. So let's read about this from the Daily Wire. Law enforcement officials in Colorado have arrested a transgender individual with a communist manifesto for allegedly planning mass shootings at schools and churches in the area. Again, gee, I wonder why would this person target a church, right? Is it because people on the left told him that Christian you know, fundamentalists or, you know, Christian nationalists in the Republican Party are a threat to transgender folks, right? Again, I'm just saying there's a pattern here that we're seeing and that, you know, we may continue to see due to the rhetoric from the left. News of the arrest was made public on Thursday afternoon, but the arrest happened on March 31st, just days after a transgender terrorist massacred 6 people, including 3 children, at a private Christian school in Nashville. Yeah, so this guy, it seems to be, is a copycat, right? This is a copycat. This is somebody who saw it. They probably saw all the rhetoric coming from the left. They, you know, calling that individual, going soft on them, not wanting to talk about their identity and the rhetoric going on in this country, how that may have played into why the mass shooting happened. And guess what they did? They say, oh, well, maybe I can go do the same thing, right? I see how this person is being treated. it's not that bad, right? Maybe, hey, maybe this is an okay thing to do. Again, that's the message that's being pushed here. The individual who the Daily Wire is not naming due to company policy about not giving notoriety to mass killers or those who allegedly aspire to commit such atrocities is a biological male who goes by a different female name and uses she, her pronouns. The 19-year-old was charged with criminal attempt to commit murder in the first degree, 2 counts, criminal mischief, menacing, and interference with staff, faculty, or students of educational institutions. The suspect allegedly targeted Timberview Middle School, Perry Hills Elementary, Pond Creek High School, and other targets were churches. A family member turned the suspect into police, telling 911 that they had threatened to shoot up schools and had severe anger issues. A spokesperson for the 18th Judicial District Attorney's Office told local media that the suspect was in the process of transitioning. Yeah, so again, this person had anger issues, right? They threatened to shoot up schools. Again, it sounds like this is an individual who needs to lay on somebody's couch, right? They need help, okay? They need help. But again, that's not really a conversation we can have in this country because, they say that, having these conversations is hate speech, right? Just to say that, hey, I think somebody might need some help. Police said that the home had, quote, trash piled up around the house to where it made it hard to walk inside, and that there were numerous containers filled with half-eaten food with mold growing inside and numerous alcoholic beverages containers laying around the house. Yeah, so this person was living like a slob, right? This person was living like a slob, okay? A bum. The suspect allegedly poked holes in the wall inside the house and ripped a door off the hinges. The suspect allegedly vigilantly shook his eyes, indicating yes when asked by law enforcement if he was going to shoot up a school. The suspect said that he had been planning the attacks for over a month and had started planning and writing a manifesto. Evidence collected inside the house included the suspect's manifesto, the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, and a notebook with suicidal ideations. The suspect allegedly researched how to 3D print firearms, made detailed lists of numerous people to target, gathered information about how to make bombs, and made commentary about notorious mass shooters, serial killers, and politicians. Yeah, so this person seemed to have been inspired by communism, probably some prior mass shootings, probably the mass shooting that just happened in Nashville. And again, the media is silent, right? They're not going to talk about this. You're never going to hear about this on CNN, MSNBC. You're not going to hear about it. When this, in the past couple weeks, is the second major incident involving somebody who happens to be transgender and a mass shooting. Now, again, is that to say that, transgender people or being trans in and of itself is, a threat? No, it's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that the rhetoric coming from the left may be pushing individuals or radicalizing individuals who may be trans, okay, or who may be sympathetic to the trans community in that movement. It could be radicalizing individuals to commit acts of violence. And this is why I say that the Democrat Party and the mainstream liberal media have blood on their hands when it comes to these mass shootings that, happen to be committed by some of these individuals who may have been radicalized by the left because, again, they're telling these people that their lives are in danger, right? When their lives are not in danger from GOP policies. They're not in danger, right? And then when, a transgender person goes out and commits a mass shooting, they want to coddle the individual and basically make the person seem like a hero in some instances, right? I mean, I did a video about a woke pastor basically comparing the mass shooter to Jesus, right? Jesus being crucified on the cross. These people came out here and said, well, the transgender community needs to be protected in response to a transgender person committing a mass shooting. Again, it blows my mind, right? It blows my mind. Nobody came out here and talked about how the Christian community should be protected. I'm just saying. I mean, this stuff right here, man, again, I'm not letting this go. We have to have a real serious conversation about the radicalization that is happening in this country that is coming from the left when it comes to some of these individuals because, again, stuff like this, in my opinion, is what you get. It's what you get when you're telling people, lies, right? And you're making it seem like, hey, you're a special snowflake. You can't be criticized. Nothing you say is wrong. Everything that you want is something that society has to capitulate to. And it's just, again, we're not headed down a good path with this, man. Again, these people, the mainstream liberal media, again, they're putting people's lives in danger with their rhetoric. They really are. So, again, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.